Hello, welcome to the show. I'm me, this is Steve, and we are here to review Whip It.
This is a movie about a girl who is growing in a rural Texas small town
Boating.
and wants to join a roller derby team in the city and is sort of rebelling a little bit against her parents with traditional values.
Yeah.
This is Drew Barrymore's first time directing. She also stars in the movie. Maybe this movie is good if you're a preteen girl or something, but I didn't enjoy this movie very much. Even the parts with the roller derbying and stuff weren't really very exciting.
No.
The hits and stuff, they try to make it look like it was like they're hitting hard, but they're obviously not. So that was not cool.
I feel like I've seen this movie before too. Like some other time and place. It's all really the same, you know.
The best character in this movie was the girl's father, who, if I remember right, was one of the wet bandits in
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah, he was in City Slickers too.
Yeah, he's the best.
He was a good role.
Yeah, he's the only person that I found interesting, and he was not, one of the main characters, so that's too bad.
I personally can't stand Ellen Page. One day.
Really?
Yeah, I thought she sucked. She sucks in everything. She was a terrible representation of Kitty Pryde in X-Men Last Stand.
I liked her in that one.
I hated her in Juno. Plus, she looks like a skinny boy with long hair.
Actually, I like Ellen Page so far from what I've seen of her. I liked her in X-Men, and she kind of reminds me, I don't know how old she is. In this movie, she plays a 17-year-old.
I think she's like 22.
In this movie particularly, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, she reminds me of another Ellen, Ripley, from Aliens. I was like, maybe this girl grows up, she can play Ripley in a future Alien movie.
Yeah.
Because she kind of has the look a little bit, but she looks too young, so if she's, fully grown, she's not going to get any older looking. That's not.
I think she is fully grown. I enjoyed Juliette Lewis. I love everything she does. She is great, especially her music. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Juliette Lewis and the Licks.
Was there music in this movie?
It might have been.
Because I thought this movie was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
There's a Striper shirt.
Yeah, which
part of the movie.
I've never heard of before in my life.
I have.
Striper.
I think this movie could have done with a little Striper in the soundtrack, because I thought the soundtrack was terrible. One thing I thought was kind of juvenile in this movie is the food fight. A food fight, seriously, you're going to have a food fight. That's retarded. It
started off really awkward, and then all of a sudden, Drew Barrymore's like, let's have a food fight, guys. Give me a break.
It's so dumb.
Ellen Page's love interest in this movie, I felt like they just picked him up out of an indie rock lineup, and were like, we want that douchebag, and put him in the movie.
The whole romance in this thing was painful.
Yeah, and then he ended up being a huge douchebag.
He was douchebag the whole time.
He was douchebag the whole time. He totally played her. And I was like, I know people like that in real life, and they look just like him, which is fucked up and sad. So
you got all these, it's a lot of hipster-type people in this movie, and I guess if that's what the kids today think is cool, and it's targeted towards them, then it works, but if you're at all mature, then you're not going to be interested in that. You're going to be like, this is dumb. Why should anybody care about any of this? And one thing I thought was a little annoying, it's okay, but the roller derby girls, it's like the Suicide Girls, except for not as hot, and they don't get naked.
I'm not sure if I want to see Ellen Page naked ever, but I don't really understand why everybody enjoyed this movie so much, like why it's getting such great reviews. It's gotten 4 stars so far on a lot of reviews in newspapers I've read, and
it's a try for the human spirit. I don't know why
I wanted to shoot myself a couple times when I saw it when I was in the theater. Everybody's been giving it great reviews, but I don't understand why. This movie was terrible. I was so bored. Once again, shot in the face, blood that way. I hated this movie. It gets an F.
I would give this movie a D. Although I hated this movie, I think it's a terrible movie. it may be a good movie if you're like a 12-year-old girl or something.
Yeah.
So some people might actually like this movie, but for most people, no, this is really bad. And even if you're a 12-year-old girl, I'm sure there's something better that you can watch than this.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a D, but it's a very low D. Like, I'm being generous with the D on this one.